everyone thought Jungkook would only serve in the military with the same routine, suddenly an unexpected figure quietly came to visit him. Not an idol, not a fan, but someone we never imagined before. So who exactly is he? And why is this visit so intriguing to so many people? Well, this time we're going to unpack everything from a deeper, more reasonable perspective and definitely make you think twice about what's really going on. Conscription in South Korea is not just about uniforms, physical training, or sleeping in barracks. For ordinary citizens, it might be the most boring time of their lives. But for an idol like Jungkook BTS, conscription is a big transition from the glittering stage to the solitude of the military. No cheering fans, no cameras, no concerts, no award shows. Just a hard, systematic daily routine. But life is never that simple. When news of a mysterious visit to the base where Jungkook served surfaced, the public was in an uproar. You see, this was no ordinary visit. Not from a manager, not from an agency, not from a groupmate. This was someone who was never on the list of K-pop public figures but had a big role in Jungkook's life so far. And strangely, none of the media really picked up on this person's name. All secret, all mysterious. But that's what makes it all the more interesting. Now, let's go back a bit. In social theory, an idol's life is always being watched. They live under the pressure of public expectations, exclusive contracts, and almost non-stop work patterns. When they enter the military, it's as if they are disconnected from the outside world. But make no mistake, that doesn't mean their personal interactions are cut off. It is precisely at times like this that the human side of an idol comes to the surface. They become ordinary people again, and this is what makes the arrival of the mysterious guest so important. We can see this from two theoretical approaches: relational psychology and Abraham Maslow's theory of basic human needs. When a person comes under social pressure or isolation from their routine, they will seek new stability. That stability can come from personal relationships that provide a sense of security, or from someone who has been providing an emotional foundation. And this visit could be part of that. So it's not just a visit, but a psychological recovery step in a tough adaptation period. So who exactly was this visitor? The first rumor suggests that it's a non-celebrity figure who has a past connection with Jungkook. There is speculation that he is his old teacher, or perhaps a regular person who once saved Jungkook in a difficult situation. But even more interesting is the version that this person is a former high-ranking soldier who had been Jungkook's personal mentor in mental and spiritual matters long before he entered the military. There are wild conspiracy theories circulating in Korean online communities, suggesting that this visit was even closely guarded by the military itself. It's as if this person is not only an important person to Jungkook, but also carries a message or role that cannot be made public. This could have something to do with the special training program given to top idols to stay mentally awake during the draft. But unfortunately, as of now, there is no official information about such a program. Everything is just rumors. Well, if we look at the Korean culture, visits during the Wamo are usually allowed under certain conditions, usually for immediate family or special visits from the agency. But if someone from outside that circle manages to gain access, it means there's a privileged route taken. And this opens up the possibility that Jungkook's relationship with this mysterious figure is deeper than we thought. It's not just a friendship. It's also not just a professional relationship. Interestingly, after the visit, some fans who happened to be on duty at the same location revealed that Jungkook's mood changed. He became calmer, quieter, and seemed more focused than before. Some speculate that the visit carried a very influential personal message, something that might shape Jungkook's new outlook on life, on his career going forward, and perhaps on who he really is when he's not being an idol. From an entertainment industry perspective, this moment is also very important, because WOML for idols is not just a period of absence, but also a period of silent rebranding. Many agencies secretly prepare material, new concepts, and even the next direction of their careers while the idol is in the military. But for Jungkook, who has already released a solo album, had global success, and has a strong image as an all-rounder, what kind of rebranding is needed? Well, this is where the notion that this visit is part not meet public expectations. And when an idol goes through something too personal, too mysterious, the public can misjudge. Could even become a negative issue. So it's better to keep everything tightly wrapped, and only those directly involved know the truth. But that's how this world works. When the public is not informed, speculation will flourish. And when speculation grows, attention will continue to be drawn to it. Whether intentional or not, this is a pretty smart strategy too. Because during the Waml period, Jungkook was still talked about. Not lost. Didn't sink. Instead, it remains relevant. But wait a minute, do you think this story is over? Instead, now we go deeper. Because after that mysterious visit, there was a domino effect that couldn't be ignored. And whether you realize it or not, since that moment, some strange things have started to happen both in the military environment where Jungkook served and in the South Korean entertainment industry ecosystem as a whole. First, let's talk about the change in communication patterns from HYBE's side. Usually, the agency would be quite open when it comes to the BTS members' military activities, at least giving light updates or simply greeting fans. But after the issue of the visit surfaced, HYB suddenly restricted access to information drastically. No updates, no clarifications, not even the occasional digital fan sign to maintain communication, suddenly silent. This was no coincidence. In organizational communication theory, something like this is known as strategic silence. Deliberate silence. It's not because there's nothing to say, but because they're managing perception. And usually there are two reasons why this is done. One, to quell the noise before the issue escalates. Two, because there is an important process that is still going on behind the scenes, and it's not time to make it public. So it could be that the mysterious visit was not just about Jungkook, but part of a bigger, more systematic, and even strategic agenda. Now let's discuss the psychological effects on Jungkook himself. Someone who had lived under the global spotlight for years, when suddenly pulled into the quiet world of the military, must have experienced tremendous adaptation pressure. But after that visit, which could have been a moment of recovery or spiritual reflection, some of the signals sent out by Jungkook indirectly began to change. From the testimonies of some soldiers who accidentally interacted with him, they said that Jungkook became more active in inviting discussions about the future. Not the future of his career as an idol, but more existential things, such as the concept of contribution, influence on the younger generation, and even the possibility of living a life outside the entertainment industry. This is not a playful discourse. It's a mental transition from a public figure to a thinker. And if it's true, it shakes up the psychological structure of the fans and industry who have grown accustomed to seeing Jungkook as the golden magne, the icon of perfection in the world of K-pop. Does this mean Jungkook will retire? Not necessarily. But he could be rebuilding his identity. Rebuilding from the inside, not as an industrial product, but as a human being. And this is the most important point of all these narratives, that mysterious visit could be not just a personal reunion, but a philosophical turning point in Jungkook's life. He is moving from being someone the public defines to being someone he defines himself. And if you understand how powerful such a change is in Korean entertainment, you'll realize it's a silent revolution. This links back to the mysterious visitor. Whoever he is, he's definitely not a random person. He wasn't just there to encourage. He has a message or even a mission. He could be a former military instructor who has a personal influence on Jungkook, or a spiritual advisor who has been disguised behind the scenes of the industry. There's even a theory that this is a figure who had a great deal to do with Jungkook when he was younger, perhaps when he first moved to Seoul and faced the rigors of the trainee world. Someone who never made it into the public eye, but left a strong mark on Jungkook's character development. And now that person is back. The right time. When it's needed most. So what's the next step? We look at the pattern of returning idols. They usually emerge with new works, a more mature appearance, and sometimes a clearer vision of life. But if this prediction is true, Jungkook won't be back to his usual self. There will be a big change. Maybe he'll get involved in social projects. Maybe he'll become a producer, mentor, or even build something away from the music scene. It's about how one personal moment can change the course of someone's life. How the presence of a single figure who we don't even know can catalyze a transformation that's bigger than just a comeback album or a solo project. So, if you still think that Jungkook's story in the military is a boring break, you might not have seen the deepest layer of it all. Behind the silence of the military barracks, amidst the marching steps of physical training and harsh rules, something is happening that will slowly change